Hi everyone, before we get started I just want to clarify that this is a sword flip, not a sword spin, which means the sword is going to be airborne. So make sure you're in an open area where you can't hit anything, and watch where the sword is at all times so that you don't get hit yourself. Also, I want to let you know that I am not an expert, so follow these instructions at your own risk. Also, I want to thank KnifeBoy360 for requesting this tutorial. I'm sorry it took so late for me to make it, and I know this isn't what you were hoping for, but I hope you find it helpful anyway. And thank you to over 100 subscribers. It means a lot to me to know that so many of you look for my videos and have learned a lot through them. Aerial sword flips are so difficult because once the sword leaves your hand, you have no control over where it goes. That's why it's essential that you get your initial moves perfect. If you don't, then the flip won't be perfect. So even if you're able to do the hand moves and you find that the sword isn't going the way you want it to, it's because you're not doing it perfectly, which is why you're going to need lots of practice. Even I haven't mastered it, and I'm going to be messing up a lot as I make this video. So make sure you practice it and make sure you get it perfect. This particular flip involves starting in a reverse grip. That means instead of having the blade pointed up, you're going to rotate it down. So your hand is still in the same position, it's just that the blade is down instead of up. First, I'll quickly go over exactly how this sword flip goes. You're going to start in the reverse grip and then rotate the sword until it's parallel. At that moment is when you let go. The momentum up to this point will have the sword continue rotating until it's done a complete 180 rotation. It's at that moment that you catch it again. And what I like to do is, when the sword is here, is flick my fingers out to give the sword a spin like a football, so that as it goes upwards, it spins. It's kind of an extra for coolness. So with the sword starting in your right hand in a reverse grip, you're going to rotate your arm counterclockwise until the sword is parallel with the floor. That's when you let go, as we already established. Now, how to get that spin. As you bring it to the right, you're going to flick out with your fingers. So the sword is going to kind of roll off your fingers. It'll make more sense if you try it fast. I'm trying to go slow so you can see, so it's kind of impossible. But just as you rotate it, you're going to flick your fingers up and the sword will roll off of them. So to show you how that looks without actually throwing the sword, it's kind of like that. So you can see how the sword spins. But then once you rotate the sword at the same time, that's exactly how you do the flip. You want to kind of find that balance that the moment you catch it is when the sword is in a regular grip with the blade pointing up, not in the reverse grip. Because the sword's going to do a complete 180. So see, I didn't do it perfectly right then, so that's why the sword is kind of half and half in my hand. So you have to find that perfect balance, the right strength, the right flickness, to get the sword to be caught in just the right way there. And you can see how once I do it perfectly, then I can catch the sword perfectly and do the flip perfectly. When you feel more confident, you can try making the sword spin faster by flicking it harder. This is very challenging, so don't get discouraged. I don't even think I'll be able to do it many times. Let's see if I can. Nope. Nope. There we go. So as you can see, it takes a lot of attempts, but once you get it, memorize exactly the way you did it. Try and use that muscle memory. See, so the more times you do it, then the easier it'll get. And now I'll show you really quick how to do it in your left hand. Now I have to warn you, I'm really bad at this in my left hand. I know with other moves I can pull them off pretty well, but with this, it's very challenging for me, so bear with me. So starting in the reverse grip, you're going to rotate your arm clockwise until the sword is parallel with the floor. And at that moment is when you let go with a flick of your fingers. So I'll show you how that looks without actually throwing a sword up. So you can see I get that spin. Once you have that down, you have to find that perfect balance of strength to try and make the flip work. And I have a really bad feeling about this. So as you can see, I didn't catch it that well. But you've got to try and get it so that the sword is in a regular grip with the blade up. So let's try that one more time. Yeah, so I didn't get to spin that well, but you can get the idea. Thank you for watching this new tutorial. I hope you don't find it too challenging, and I hope you enjoy drafting your sword as much as I do. Thanks for watching.